Hey everybody, it's Val, and I am live in Park City because today is the first day of Sundance. But guess what? I found this cool filmmaker while hanging out with friend of the show, Mark. This is Cameron Mitchell, and he actually has a documentary at Slamdance because Slamdance is also going on right now. So if you have not gotten your tickets, I believe there are still single tickets available for both, right? Slamdance as well?
Yes.
Yes. And Cameron's documentary, it premieres tomorrow night, so we're going to talk about that right now. And I'm going to put up the comments section. I do want to let you know that my battery is almost dead on my computer. So as soon as
We're doing it live.
we're doing it live.
We're doing it live
So
to the death.
to the death. So we'll be here until it goes dark. But we definitely want Cameron, we want you to tell everybody about your doc because what you've been telling us about what this is about, super important topic that we do not talk about enough or even see it be like, I don't see stories about this. I don't hear stories about this. So tell us what your doc is and tell us what it's about.
Yeah, so the doc is called Elsa, and it's about a deafblind fencer. And it's a PBS American Masters doc. We're screening opening night tomorrow here in Park City at the Treasure Mountain Inn. And I that's one thing I love about Slamdance. Sundance right now. Good luck getting into anything. If you're in Park City or if you're coming to Park City right now, like you could go into Slamdance. You could see some films, and not only are you going to see some films, you're going to see some amazing films because they're all under $1 million. They're made. It's by the festival's by filmmakers for filmmakers, and it's just entirely self-produced. So I just think, as a filmmaker, I think Slamdance just represents like such an innate important thing about filmmaking, which is just open source available films.
And let's talk about yours. So your documentary is literally 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it is a short documentary and it's premiering. This is your first time doing this and you're premiering opening weekend, right?
Yeah, so technically it's the second time.
Okay.
But it's the first time in person, right?
Okay.
Because the first time I had a narrative short called The Co-op, and that was about a robber whose plans go horribly awry when he realizes the grocery store he's targeted is full of disabled people. And so my stuff is very witty, satire, kind of sarcastic, kind of punk rock, a bit in your face. And that was narrative, but COVID canceled it. So we did a virtual festival for that one. So this is my first time ever in Park City as a filmmaker. Really excited to be here.
And your film is going to be opening Friday night, which is tomorrow night, up here in Park City. It's at what time?
So it's at 7:15 p.m. in the Crescent Room in the Treasure Mountain Inn.
And it's showing right before a pretty big movie with pretty big names.
Yeah, so we opened for Sign the Show, which has Chance the Rapper in it, among other notables. Wiz Khalifa is in it, and Sign the Show is about deaf culture and music, which, I don't think everybody puts one and one together. Also with film, by the way, having, films that are accessible to the blind and deaf, because guess what? They watch movies too, and they like music, just different ways of consuming it, right? So yeah, that's really what Elsa was about. First of all, like, look how she fences. We walked through it all, and she talks about deaf gain, which is actually kind of like, when you're deaf, there are other sensory kind of inputs that are amplified from that deafness. So she talks about that in the film. We get to see how she fences, how she talks about her blind side, and how she feels where the saber is supposed to go. It's really an incredible story. And then on top of that, she's written for Marvel. She wrote for Women of Marvel #1, the character of Peggy Carter. And she's written for Assassin's Creed. She's got a book out for Assassin's Creed called The White Horse, I think. And she also has her own book called Being Seen, One Deafblind Woman's Fight to End Ableism. So she's just like a really badass individual. And I'm just like so proud that I get to share that story with everybody here in Park City. tomorrow night. You know.
And you said your narrative, you have a snarky kind of voice, attitude
Yeah.
in filmmaking. You said that Elsa's a lot. She's very similar.
Yeah.
In that respect.
Yeah.
In her behavior.
Yeah. She's definitely got like the snarky. First of all, her Instagram and Twitter, her follow is at Snarkbat. So she calls herself Snarkbat, and that's her name. That's her nickname. Also, in the film she introduces herself as Dame Elsa of the Legion of the Bat. So, you're just in for a wild ride, from the beginning. And I'm a director DP, so I'm a bit unusual because I actually do it well. And I'm a local 600 cinematographer, Steadicam operator. So we are like flying with her, like literally, like I did not want to stop her while we were doing this. So I would just like go outside in Seattle because we shot it in the beautiful green moss of, the Seattle outdoors. And I was like, just go out and I will follow you. And so I'm literally ripping down the street, like trying to keep up with her. And there was points where I like almost died filming her. We were in the park and I'm going backwards, like down the stairs and leading her. I tripped, and as I'm falling back with the camera, she puts her cane out, her blind cane, and I grab it. And so I've got the camera and the blind cane, and I'm just like holding on for dear life.
I'm just wondering, how do you get such a big story that seems so fun, entertaining, enriching, and just like you said, kind of badass, into 8 minutes? In film school, they would tell us, do a 6 or 8 minute movie, and trying to tell that story, I feel like it could lead to something bigger.
Right.
Have you thought that, okay, if this goes really well, you would maybe expand it into a feature doc?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking to expand Elsa into a feature. I think the film is a very good proof of concept. We've had literally all of the responses to this have been, I want more. I am addicted to this story. There's and there has to be more. PBS came in and made the short film possible. We're hoping that somebody can come in and carry us to the feature version of this, because it's definitely a story that needs to be told. And not only that, it's just a fascinating story. It's something you would actually, it holds you. And that's, you asked 8 minutes, that's really short, right? It's action packed,
Yeah.
You do not get a second to breathe, So just, if you're going to sit down and watch it, be prepared for that.
Right.
Literally, it sweeps you off your feet a bit.
Well, you have a couple of chances if you are in Utah for Sundance or Slamdance. You can see it at the premiere tomorrow night, or if you're going to be in Salt Lake City next week, you can see it on the 25th. You can also, I believe, if you buy the streaming pass of Slamdance, you can see it online, right?
That's correct, because all of the films stream online, contiguous with the festival.
So if you're not in town and you want to see this, I definitely think that you should check it out. Now, Mark, you are going to be screening this, and you guys might be having a more in-depth conversation about this in a couple of weeks. So if that happens, I'll make sure that I share those links here to their interview. And of course, I'm going to be here through next Friday covering Sundance and maybe hopefully some Slamdance as well. Hopefully meeting some more amazing filmmakers just like Cameron. Cameron, tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, learn more about the film.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. It's just my name at CameronS.Mitchell, and also at Elsa the Film at Elsa the Film, and you can find me there. It's basically my name.
I'll make sure we put that in the comments as well as soon as the video is over.
Cameron S. Mitchell, we learned that's important.
Yes, the S is important because there was a B actor in the 90s that did a lot of westerns and horror movies named Cameron Mitchell, so I needed
that's not so bad, right?
Right.
But get out there. You guys know how much I love films, and you know how much I love independent films, documentaries, foreign films. That's all happening right now in Park City, in Salt Lake City. So get out there, watch some movies, and I will be here with interviews all week long. Make sure you go to my Facebook, my Instagram, or right here on YouTube and let me know what you want to see, what movies you're excited about. And then, of course, tune in to Good Things Utah Friday both weeks, and you can hear all of my reviews there. Thanks, everybody. We made it just in time before the
battery lives.
Battery let go.
Live from Park City on a dead battery.
Bye, everybody. We're going live.
Dead from